Hi guys, I'm Asif Ali and you're watching CGHOW video, and today I have created this volume dissolve effect in UE5 Niagara. You can see this box is dissolving into this volume thing, and this effect is inspired by this Twitter user late as usual, and he created this in Blender, and this looks really awesome. And my effect is not exactly same, but I took the inspiration from it, so this look really cool. So this is similar type of effect, not exactly same, but I'll put that link into my description so you can check that also. So let's start this tutorial.
CGHOW. CGHOW.
First of all, subscribe my YouTube channel and also click on bell icon so you will receive all new video notification. So this is very simple, and I can also scale this sphere. You can see, looks cool. So what I did, if I hide my particle system and now play, oops. What is oops, I'm searching in world setting, sorry for that. So if I now play, you can see this box is now just cutting out, masking out with this sphere, because I used sphere mask in material of this cube, and this is the material, very simple. I have just a basic color, blue color in base color, and then I have a sphere mask world position, and here this is a location of the sphere mask that I have linked with material parameter collection, and this will I use in blueprint. Then I have a radius that is also a parameter, hardness is 1, and inverted, this is sphere mask connected to opacity mask. And here I have this sphere, so in blueprint I am setting this MPC location and taking the sphere, this is sphere, and taking the location from it and feeding it here. Then I am taking the scale of this sphere, take the X, multiplying it by 50 and connecting to the MPC radius of my sphere mask. So this is how it's cutting this, like this. Okay, and if I now visible my particles and hide my cube and play, now you can see these particles are just on the edge where my sphere is cutting. So what I did, let me open the paint. So if you have a bunch of your particle, let me just increase the size. You have a bunch of particle like this in a cube form, because you have a cube mesh, so particle also plays in a cube form. Okay, like this. Now if you take the distance from the center here and you calculate this distance, let me change the size like this, and then you calculate another distance that is slightly bigger or smaller than this distance, and you subtract these both distance together, so you will have this edge. Okay, so this is what I did here. And then this this position, center position, is a user parameter that is connecting through blueprint with my sphere. So I can change this position. So if I put this blue dot here, so my circle will be here, or maybe here, whatever I move. Okay, I can move that around. So how I did that, So this is my particle system, and if I turn off all things, this is, you can see a particle cube, and this is a grid location, grid spawn. And if I decrease the particle size small, you can see this is a grid. Okay, 0.05 I am using. And then I have a range. This is a range, and I have two range, A and B, and you can see I am taking the subtract. So this is same, these two same, just the size. You can see the radius is connected with user parameter, but here I am adding -50, means subtracting subtracting 50 from the radius. So this radius is smaller than this, and then subtracting together, so I have an edge of 50 units. Okay, and same range I used also for color, so you can see. Then I use that range for particle size, and also in dynamic parameter too, because these are slightly, you see, animating, moving. So that's why I put something in my material. This is my basic material, basic color, and here I am using a noise multiplying with vertex normal going to world position offset, and this noise is also panning. And for random tiling I have used a dynamic parameter. For pan speed I have used a dynamic parameter, and for WPO strength I have a dynamic parameter. And these things I am randomizing here in dynamic parameter. So let's start, let's create this from scratch. So in a new level, and again my UE5 crashing so much, and someone suggested me in last video, update your graphic drivers. I did that, but still is crashing. And then someone suggested on internet, then you can reduce your clock thing in MSI here. I did that, but still they were showing in on the forum of Unreal Engine that you need to put these settings and your Unreal Engine will not crash. And I have saved this, and I don't know, I have done this yesterday, but it restarted. I think I didn't save it. Okay, so let's see if it will not crash or what. So new folder, test. I'll put these files on my Patreon. Thanks for supporting me there. So let's say you have a cube, okay, and your cube is on 0. So I'll move this down, and cube size is 2, and you want to mask it out. So with this sphere, not cube, with this sphere, okay, and this sphere should be slightly transparent, so you will have better visibility. So I will create a material here, and I'll keep saving all, because I don't think it will not crash. It will definitely crash. Okay, so this material M cube, and in this material I'll just take the random like greenish color, and for opacity mask I'll use a mask here, and I'll use a sphere mask quickly connected. And because it's sphere mask, how it will work, let me show you. Directly connect it here, and I'll take the world position, and then this will be my location. This will be 0 for now, and then radius, let's say this is 100 for now, and then hardness let's say 1. Okay, so at 0 I have this, and radius is too much, so let's connect it, not connect here, connect it to emissive to visualize it. So this is black because this is under 100 units. If I make it 50, oh, like this. So this is white here, so I want this should be cut it out, so this should be black and this should be white. That's why I inverted it. Okay, so now this is black, so this will cut this cube, so that's why you need to put this here like this. Okay, so this is cutting out, and instead of this I'll use a material parameter collection. So here you will create this MPC2 because I have already a MPC, and in vector I will create a location, and this is vector 4, so you need vector 3. So you will drag it here and not directly connect it, take the mask and take the RGB. Oops, crashed. So I hope should not be unsaved. Oops, see, still I saved it. I don't think I saved it. So I have this master parameter collection, but I don't have these things, so I quickly drag it here. It's really frustrating. I will stop making tutorial on UE5 if this will keep happening, because it takes really, what to say, I think I should stop for some days UE5. So instead of directly collecting it, I will take the mask RGB. This is my B, world location, world position, and save. And instead of the radius here, and let's make the hardness 1, and I will make one more parameter for radius. It will not save because it's not connected. So here scalar value, and I will take the radius. By default it is 0, and I'll duplicate this, take the radius, connect it in radius, and here take the location. Did I save? I don't think it's saved. Oh, thank God, it's saved. So I'll take the location and duplicate and radius. This is my radius. Save. And now let me open this map. So this is the map and this is the MPC, and if I increase the radius 150, nothing happening because you need to apply it here. So you can see the radius, and you can move the location from here. See how it's moving. Let's make it 0 and make it 0 also. And because by default this sphere mask, if sphere mask is cutting it here, it is will be bigger than this sphere. So this scale is 1, and by default it is 50 times smaller. So I will multiply 50. So I'll show you how. So let me save, and in blueprint I will set vector parameter and set scalar parameter on tick. So I'll take the MPC2 and location, and here I will again take MPC2 and this time radius, and I'll click on this, take the reference, get location, connect it here, and this is float, and if I take the get scale of 3D, it is vector, so I'll just take the X for now, and if I directly connect, it will not visible properly, so I will multiply it by 50 and connect it here. So let's make this movable and simulate, and this is not visible because the cutting part is under the sphere. So let's make a material M sphere 3. Let's make it yellow, connect it to emissive, take the Fresnel, connect it to opacity, make it additive and lead two-sided. Apply it here, and also I will power this so only visible edges. So play and move this here, and you can see it's cutting your sphere exact same size. So our sphere thing is done. Now we need to do the particle thing. So I'll create crash. I hope blueprint is saved. Let me check. Yeah, blueprint is saved, thank God. So I'll create the FX, take the fountain, FX, and instead of sprite I'll take, oops, not ribbon, mesh, and I have a sphere already, and I'll make a material, basic material M color, just to check something. So particle color emissive, or maybe you can make the, okay, so I'll use that material here, this M color, save all. Okay, so now this sphere is so big, so I'll use the same size that I used in my original effect, and I don't need these things, and I'll take the grid, spawn particle in grid, and remove the velocity, and I'll make it once and life will be infinite. Okay, so now move this grid location here. So you have this grid, and if you place this here in viewport, this is smaller, so you need to make it bigger. So now exact size, and this is on 0. I'll make sure both are on 0. Okay, but particle are very less, so let's make it 20, 20, 20. So I am doubling my particle, so I need to decrease the offset. Okay, this thing, now it's filling. So let's say if you have the color here, and you can of course change the color, but if you take the lerp and you take the distance, you take two color, red and maybe green, and you can change it with this, and if you take the distance and initial position 0, and you take the particle position, and then this is your distance. See, according to distance it's changing the color, but this is very faded. And if you want to make it sharp, how you make the thing sharp? You multiply that fading thing in material and then use the floor, so that makes it sharp. So like if you have a material and you have a noise texture, this is very faded, and if you want to make it sharp, you can contrast, but we don't have contrast in Niagara, so you can multiply it by 10, then you can use floor, it will make it sharp. And if this is like this layering thing, you can saturate it or clamp it, so now it's exactly sharp. So this is thing I will use to make that sharp in FX. So first I'll use, because my last node is saturate, so I'll use clamp because we don't have saturate here. After clamp we had floor in material. After floor, before floor we use multiply by 10, and in A you have your gradient noise, so here we use distance, and distance from the position, and this was 150 around, and maybe 200. What wrong we did? Oops, crashed. Let me just make it again. Clamp, floor, multiply 10, distance from 0 to position of particle. Let me save this, and see, now this is very sharp. Okay, and 120. And if I take one more distance, and that is smaller than this, like here, and we subtract each other, we will have this edge. So before this clamp, copy, I'll subtract, paste and paste, and here this is 120 and this is also 120. I will increase value 130. So I have the edges. So now we have used this in color, but I want to make a parameter of it, so I will just copy this, turn off the color, and make a parameter float and call it range, and paste your all maths here. Okay, save, and you have this range, and you can use it anywhere. Like if I here in color turn on this color, and instead of all this math, I'll just type the range here. Output will be the same because I have the same math here. Once you do it, and you can use it in multiple times. So now if I take the size, mass scale, and make the float and lerp and then range, so it will make those 0 and these will be 1. Okay, so now you have this thing, and in range this is your 0 position that you need to connect with the sphere, and this is your radius. So radius I'll use 100 and 150 for now, and I will make the user parameter of this, rename this as location, and copy this, these will be same, save, and I'll select this particle system, go to blueprint, take the reference, and set Niagara variable vector. Your name of variable is location, and I'll use the execution from here. Same location of this sphere here, connect, and if I play, see, but the radius is different, and why this sphere is not working? Yeah, this is working now, but this thickness is too much. So in FX, let's make it 110. Now you can decrease the particle. See, this is now working, and because particle now very less, you can increase the particle rate and all things. So this is how I did that. You can change the color, you can apply noise in your WPO, and finally I finished it with lots of crashing, and I should stop working on UE5 till I found the solution. So this is what I did. Okay, I put this file on Patreon, download and check yourself. And thanks for watching, keep learning, thanks for supporting, and bye bye, take care.